How about making a pot of tea? I have people ask me all the time, how do you make a pot of tea? In New Zealand, they use these teapots. Europe uses electrical tea kettles. And for some reason in America, we don't use these very much. And they're great. You can get these at Joel's downtown. Fred Meyer, I think, has some too. But this is the one by Russell Hobbs, and I really like it. You put your water in there, and you plug that in, pop it, and within like a minute and a half, your water is boiling. And it automatically shuts off as soon as your water comes to a boil. These are great. In America, we usually use the tea kettles that take forever on the stove, and this way I could have tea made up just really, really quickly. So what you do is you boil your water, and you want to make sure as soon as it comes to a boil that you pull that kettle off of the burner, because you do not want to de-aerate your water. That makes your tea taste flat, or your coffee will taste flat if you use any water that's boiled too long. You wouldn't think so, huh? You pour a bit of your hot water into your teapot that you're using. I personally use loose leaf tea, and so I get the bottom of my teapot hot, and then I pour out that water, and then I use the loose leaf tea, and I put a teaspoon of that into the teapot, and then that opens the tea leaves, and it makes it for a richer brew of tea when you do it that way, and you just let it sit there for 30 seconds, and then you pour the rest of your hot water in there, and you brew your tea. Now, Americans, we usually use too much tea in our teapots. We put like 3 or 4 bags of tea, into the teapot because the box says use 1 tea bag per cup. Well, that 1 tea bag can make a whole pot of tea. Americans don't like tea very much because they make it too strong and it becomes bitter tasting. 1 teaspoon makes a whole teapot of tea. And then you can serve it with honey and cream, and it tastes yummy. And I use these syrup dispensers for my honey. Or if you don't even drink tea, these are great for if you're making peanut butter and honey sandwiches. You know how you always gets all over the place, just cuts it off right away, and these are great for that. This is the kind of tea that my guests love. I have tons and tons of tea anyways, but this is called the Republic of Tea. Vanilla almond, ginger peach, and mango Ceylon are the 3 teas that I use the most. And I find even my non-tea drinking friends love this. This particular company has won many awards for the best tea awards, and they're very, very good. You can buy this at Hidden Cottage downtown if you're here in Coeur d'Alene, World Market in Spokane, Nordstrom's, right outside of Nordstrom's. There's a little coffee bar there. They sell it. Or a shop in town, the Gourmet Shop, is that still open here? They as well sell it here in town. I personally buy loose leaf tea because it lasts a lot. You can get a lot more use out of it, and it's easier to brew, but we really like our little tea bags, and they have tea bag or loose leaf. So, do you want to enjoy a cup of tea together? Enjoy entertaining more by being prepared. That is the key to entertaining with ease. Okay, let's go over to your dining room. What's that? Oh, out of room. Are you out of room already? You just start writing up your hand. Flip that page over. Sorry, you are out of room. I didn't realize you were going to take so many notes. We're going to have to redo that. Okay, the dining room. We're going to be decluttering and organizing it and designing it tonight. So let's start with decluttering. By now, you probably know exactly what I'm going to say, but we have a lot of new people coming into class, so we're going to just use a little bit of time here. You want to use the same questions that we've been in boxes as we've used in your kitchen. So if you're brand new, get week 2 notes, and there's questions in boxes on those notes that will tell you how to do this. So you want to declutter your dining room 100% completely before we go into any decorating on it. You want to start with your china cabinet or your buffet, or pick a starting point, and then you work clockwise fashion around your room because you don't want to miss any areas. And you remember that anything that does not pertain to your dining room needs to go into the spot of your house that you think it really logically should go. So your exercise equipment needs to be hauled out. Johnny's toy box needs to go into his room. Getting a sewing area for your sewing cabinet, putting into another room, because we're going to use this dining room now. And all that paperwork that you have on your desk, on your table, and it's used as your office, get yourself a desk somewhere else, because a lot of times we don't use our dining rooms because it's become your office. Unless that's what you need it for, then let's make it into an office. But if you're going to start entertaining with ease, then it's time to get that all cleaned out and make it lovely so that you would start showing hospitality. You want to go through your china? I want to encourage you to enjoy what you have once again. So you want to go through your china and all your silver pieces and use them. If you have pieces or heirlooms that you don't like anymore, and or you do like them because they're sentimental, but they're cracked and they're not very lovely, but they're grandma's and you don't want to get rid of them, you put them in your memory box, because we're going to create some room in your dining room for those things that are beautiful to you. Or if you have lots of dishes and duplicates, you want to go through these, and a lot of times we have lots and lots of sets of dishes. So I want to encourage you to pick out your 2 or 3 best sets, and those become your everyday dishes and your good dishes, and get rid of the rest. Find a newlywed couple in your church and give them a set of dishes. On the need list back there, there's a gal that would love a set of dishes, and so find someone and bless them. You only keep that which you use. Or if you have some pieces in your china cabinet and you're getting older and you have all this china cabinet stuff that you just stack in there because it's so full, don't wait till you're dead to give your stuff away. Go ahead and give your stuff away now. And bless someone with those things. You know, you think about it. We get older and we keep all these things and we think, okay, I want to give this to Sally Mae and Johnny and all these people. And then when we die, we don't ever get to know that it got to Johnny. So I want to encourage you, if you have pieces that you want to give away and you're already thinking about who you want to give them to and you're not using them, go ahead and give them to someone that you know it's going to bless and they're going to use it. And enjoy the compliments that they're going to say, thank you so much, this blesses me so much, and I really enjoy this. Okay, all those things in your china cabinets that you are just for looks and you're not using them, but you really like the look of them, keep them. I know that we said if you haven't used them in the last year, biff them, but there are some things in the china cabinet that seems to be just for looks, so you have permission. That sounds bad. You do what you want. I'm just talking. If you have any things that are chipped and ugly, and who knows why you're keeping it, and it just aggravates you every time you look at it because you cracked it, go ahead and get rid of it. Don't leave that stress in your china cabinet. Get rid of it and keep the things that you like. So you're going to be putting things back in your china cabinet, all those things that you like, 70% worth. And you want to do this with interest and balance. So you're going to make this, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you might need to take a trip to Bon Marche's china section, and look how they display their china. And they have plate holders that stand up the big platters, and they have it all balanced with different, and they make it look so appealing. Don't just put all your china into your cabinet without thinking about displaying your pieces. That's what it's for. It's a display cabinet of the things that you hold precious as far as china goes. Your china cabinet can also house your tablecloths, your placemats, your candles. We talked on that first week about hangers. I personally hang all my tablecloths on the L-shaped hangers that are for pants. So they're not in my china cabinet. So now I have more room and they go in the closet. my table cloths do. If you have, after you've cleaned out your china cabinet and you have lots of room in there and you're not thinking, okay, what can I use this space? Believe me, you'll find a need for that space anyways. But just as an idea, we did a gal's dining room one time, and we got rid of so many of the dishes that she got. You know, all those dishes that you got for your wedding present that, you know, you really don't like, but you keep them because you got them. Again, find someone else that likes them and give them away if you don't use them. But we used her bottom of her buffet for her stereo unit. And so we just drilled a hole in the back of her cabinet and stuck her stereo system in the bottom of the buffet, and then we used the drawers for her cassettes and CDs. And because she wanted to have the stereo unit nearby, but didn't want to have it visually out. And so that worked out good. So that's an idea. So vacuum your dining room well, do your curtains, wash those windows as soon as you can. It was a great day for washing windows today. Oh yeah, right. And get those windows washed. They will make your room feel cleaner though. Okay, let's talk about decorating. Most dining rooms are used for eating, conversations and celebrations, or entertaining. So depending on your lifestyle, this will reflect on how formal or casual you will want to make your dining room feel. Last week we talked about what is your style. And is your dining room to your liking? Is it the style that you like? A lot of times there's, you know, some of us are really casual and we do not use our dining room because it seems so formal. So let's change it. Let's make it way more casual so you feel comfortable to use it. Or perhaps you're one that wants to have it really formal, and so go ahead and make it more formal, but make it into the environment that reflects your taste and style. Don't just keep it formal. If you don't like formal, change it, and you can make it much more casual and enjoy it a lot more. Besides, you know, a lot of times we use our kitchen nooks all the time, but here we've got this great dining room. We don't ever use it, and it's like our good china. We don't use our dining room for some reason, and our families like it when we serve a meal in there. They really like it, and they feel special. The whole concept is making them feel special with all the things that we enjoy and what we own, and we want to use them. So, start changing your room to your taste. There are many different ways to create different moods in your dining room. So if you want your dining room to feel more intimate and cozy, then you're going to want to perhaps darken the color of that room. That makes it feel much more intimate that way. Dining rooms can handle a darker color, and we don't really think, well, it's a small room, it really can't handle a dark color. My dining room is really dark eggplant, and we love it. And everybody said, you are nuts, because this is my only area that we eat in, because I don't have a kitchen nook. And it's very dark, and it's dark in the day, and it's dark at night, and we love it, and it feels cozy to us. But if you like that feel, go for a darker color, or put up some wood wainscoting. Rich wallpaper will make your dining room feel much more intimate. Now remember that different colors stimulate different things as far as emotions. So reds stimulate appetite. So if you want to be cooking all the time, paint your walls red. If you don't want to be cooking, paint them white. Now, I don't know why I have this dark eggplant if I don't like cooking. That doesn't make sense, does it? Put a dimmer switch on your chandelier to make it cozier. Soft lighting creates that cozy feel. And if you don't have a chandelier, get a whole bunch of candlesticks, different heights, and put those on the middle of your table. That can give you kind of a unique look. Drapes can also make your dining room feel warmer and more inviting. So you could go out and you could swag fabric in there or whatever you want to do. Drapes really warm up a dining room a lot. And always make sure you put a plant in your dining room. That also can give your dining room a warmer feel. Now regarding chandeliers, you always want to hang your chandeliers. The rule of thumb for this is 30 inches above the surface of your table if you have 8-foot ceilings. I don't know why, but oftentimes when I go into people's houses, their chandeliers are stuck right up tight to the ceiling, and they really need to come down 30 inches above the table. That is the rule of thumb. Now, if you have higher ceilings, You want to raise the light fixture 3 inches for each additional foot of ceiling height. You got that? Now, when you bring your chandelier down, a lot of times you're trying to match up the chain, and sometimes you can't match up the chain. So what you can do is buy a coordinating fabric that goes really well in your dining room. It matches your chairs or something in there, and you could just make a sleeve for that chain, and you bunch it all up, and it gives that real nice look. A lot of decorators do that to cover up a chain. That's just an idea. Area rugs are another way to make your dining room feel more cozier. They can go over your wood or carpet. If you have small kids and you think, well, we have really nice carpet in our dining room and our kids are small, we'll use our dining room a lot later when our kids grow up. Well, you know what? Then you're not going to use your dining room. So go down and get yourself an area rug. It doesn't have to be expensive because it's dark underneath that table and you don't have to see what's underneath that table very well. But get an area rug and let them make them. If they make a mess, so what? When they get older, you just yank that carpet out and you're going to put another area rug that you like better. But use your house. Use all the areas of your rooms. How about dining room tables? Maybe you're perhaps waiting for that really nice wood dining room table that you can't afford right now, but then you think, well, that means I can't use my dining room. Drape the table that you've got. Go get some fabric, put some Velcro around the table here, and just get some of that mending tape you iron on and get a hem and put some Velcro on that fabric and put it around your table, and then drape your table with a nice tablecloth that you can take off and wash, but your table is completely draped. And you don't have to have good dining room chairs. You can paint your chairs to make them look nicer, or you could just take off the seats, the fabric seats, and recover them. I used to recover my dining room chairs every 3 months because I just like the change, and it cost 2 yards of fabric, $10, and I had a whole new look, and I just kept changing them out because all you have to do is stretch your fabric on it, staple it, and screw it right back down again. And it doesn't, you don't have to go to the upholstery to do that. You could do that yourselves, and you have a new, fresh look. And if your kids spill something on it, go down and buy another $10 worth of fabric and change it out and use it. The whole idea. Or how about if you can't find chairs that are matching, because sometimes that's expensive, buy all different kinds of chairs and put the same fabric in all the chairs, but you all have different chairs. That's a fun look. You can't afford good silverware, but you can find different silverware that doesn't match, or nice china that doesn't match. Go to your thrift shops and your antique shops and buy one off and have the whole table look all mixed-mashed, but it would look interesting. I've seen that done many times. It's kind of that shabby chic look, and it looks good. So be creative. Now, when you do your dining room, you think about balance and height. And a lot of times if you don't have a hutch to bring height in their dining room, because you need height in there, put your mirrors or your large art pieces up and put your wall sconces on either side. Make sure you get some balance of height in there. A lot of times I line all my drawers in my dining room with velvet. And I do that with my underwear drawer too, or any of my drawers in my house, any of my Chester drawers or anything, I line them with velvet. When you look at old buffets, they always have velvet-lined drawers, and I think that's such a cool look. So I line everybody's drawer that way, and it's kind of fun. Your husband will think, why is my underwear drawer lined with velvet? What is this class about? If you do not use your dining room very much, and you're not going to, even if you've redesigned it, maybe you might need a more needed space for that area. So you need to think of, okay, what more needed space do I need? Perhaps you need to make it into an office. Any more people are needing office space in their homes. So go ahead and take all that dining room furniture out if you're not going to use it and make it into an office space. Or perhaps a library. Perhaps you really love reading and there's no library place in your home. Put some bookshelves, go into the ceiling, and paint it nice and dark rich and put an area rug and comfortable chairs and lighting and make it a library. Or perhaps you love to sew and you've always wanted a sewing room. Make it a sewing room then. Or how about a family game room? Or perhaps you have so many children you don't know where to put them. Make your dining room into another place for a kids' room. You might, a lot of times kids you need that extra space, and you have to kind of prioritize what are you going to need it for the most. Or how about a guest room? You've always wanted to have a guest room, but you don't use your dining room because you have a breakfast nook. Make it into a guest room. Or a prayer room. I had a friend that she took all the furniture out of her dining room, and she has nothing in there, and it's her prayer closet. And you know how when you pray, and if you open your eyes, you're looking at everything, and you're thinking, okay, I need to take care of that, and you're rearranging this and all that. She wanted a room that visually, she could open her eyes, and it didn't matter because she wasn't going to see anything in there anyways, and she wanted to be able to play worship music and dance before the Lord. And so she did that with her dining room, and I thought, what a great idea. Be creative with your dining rooms this week. You guys don't have much homework this week. I thought about doing master bedroom and kids' rooms this week because I know some of you are just like chomping at the bit to get to your bedrooms, and you probably have already done them by now. But we'll be on those next week. But you can do your guest rooms. So let's go into guest rooms. What are the things in a hotel room, when you walk into a hotel room, what do you just love about that room? What's that? Chocolate on the pillowcases. We're going to talk about that. I know, you just want to think. So my guest room, I'm always thinking, okay, I want it to be pleasing to my guests, and I'm going to make it into a room like what I like when I go to a nice hotel and all the amenities. That's what I'm thinking about for my guest room. So there are many ways we can make our guests feel really comfortable. And the first thing that we need to do, though, when we have guests, and we want to make sure that they feel comfortable, is our attitude. I know you thought soft, comfy bed. We're going to get there. Our attitude about them being there. We want to make sure that they are feeling welcome and wanted. You know how when you invite company to come, and you're so excited about them coming, and then right before they get there, you're overwhelmed, and you're thinking all the stuff that you've got to do. And all of a sudden, you start grumbling. Well, the Bible tells us, show hospitality and to do it without grumbling. And so you need to think about your attitude about them being there. You're already thinking about the day that they're going to leave before they even get there. And I know, I've done that before. I've thought, oh man, I've got so much on my plate. Well, your guests sense that when they come to your house, that whether you really want them there or you don't. When it comes to my New Zealand guests, man, I am so excited that they are there, that they have stayed 2 months at a time. And my American friends think, 2 months, that is a long time. But they come and they never tell you how long they're going to stay. New Zealanders, for some reason, they don't even think that way. They just are coming to be with you, and when they're supposed to go, they're supposed to go. And so I love it, and it's fun. In New Zealand, their whole concept of hospitality and culturally is they always have guest rooms, and in their guest rooms they have a sink. And most houses have guest rooms there because they think that direction. When you come into their home, they like kill the fattened calf for you. Whether they know you or not, I can't count the times we were invited to people's home and to come and stay with them overnight, and they didn't even know us. They'd meet us at a restaurant and say, hey, you crazy Americans, why don't you come home and stay with us for a couple days? And we took them up on it because we had so much fun getting to meet people that way, and they just made us feel part of. Get into the cupboards, make yourself at home, and I love that about it because I never felt like I was the guest. I always felt like I was family. So I want to encourage you, when you have your guests come over, you want to make them feel like family because that's what's going to really bless them the most. Encourage your guests to get in your cupboards and help themselves. They love that. When I would have people in New Zealand, they'd come over and they would fold my laundry. I'd come home and I'd have people in my home because culturally that was okay, and they'd be folding up my laundry, and they would be ironing my clothes or taking clothes off the clothesline or making food. And I just used to think, wow, this is really interesting, because in America, we're so territorial, you know. We just think, well, if you're coming to our home, we're going to serve you, and you sit down, and we're going to do everything. But they would just come home and just make themselves feel at home in your home. And I love that. So if you come over to my house, you can fold my laundry. One thing that you want to do is your guest bed needs to have as best of linens as possible that you can afford. There's nothing like when you go to someone's house and you have these nice linens to sleep in. And so I always try to make sure that they're the best I can afford for my guests. I always wash the linens right before my guests come, because I want them as fresh smelling and fresh as possible. I spray 2 squirts of my favorite perfume in between the sheets right before they are going to go to bed that night. And they like that. They always say, oh, your sheets smell so good. Well, it's because I sprayed this jolly perfume in there. And they like it. You want to make sure that your guest pillows are not too fluffy nor too flat. A lot of times we have these really nice pillow shams, and we want our guest beds to look really fluffy and nice. But then when they go to sleep on those pillow shams, they're like so big. And so you got to think about, what do you like to sleep on? And so if you want those big pillow shams, make sure you have pillows that are, you know, flatter for them to sleep on, that's in the closet or somewhere else where they don't have to sleep on those big ones that are just for looks. You want to put a mint on their pillow right before they go to bed, just for fun. I always pull down their bed for them, put a mint on their pillow, and they always have a good chuckle about that the next morning. They say, oh, Sydney, you're so funny. I always make sure that I have extra blankets in my guest room, because, you know, you might be, once again, very used to sleeping with colder rooms in the house, and they may not. And so you want to make sure there's nothing worse when you're staying at someone's house and you wake up in the middle of the night and you're freezing, but you don't want to go creep around the house to find a blanket, because you're going to wake everybody up, so you didn't get a good night's sleep, and then everybody wakes up the next morning and go, oh, how did you sleep, darling? And you're like, oh, I was so good, you know, but you didn't. And so you want to make sure you put some extra blankets in there. Luggage rack is great, you know, those luggage racks for their luggage. You want to make sure that your guest room is as simple as possible, like a hotel room. This is not an area for you to do your knick-knack decor, because your guests are going to spread out. You don't want their stuff to get messed up with their stuff messed up with your stuff. That's what I meant to say. And so you want to have it simple. So like on the dresser, you just have the basics on there. You would have a pitcher of water with a glass, Kleenex, sometimes a bouquet of flowers if you could do it. A basket of goodies is always fun, with fruit and cookies in it. In New Zealand, they always gave you a basket of all these New Zealand chocolates and everything, and it was always nice. How about a special little gift? You used to always give us little gifts too. Handmade soap or a little bottle of perfume, something that was special that just was in your room, and it was all wrapped up, and when you went to your room, you thought, wow, they really want to bless me. They just go all the extra mile to do that for me. If you have overseas guests, you want to make sure that you have stamps and stationery in their room, a Bible, an alarm clock. And if you can have room in your guest room for a chair, that's always nice. And a telephone, if you can do that as well. Always try to put a nightlight in their bedroom or their bathroom, because half the time when they wake up, they're not realizing that they're in someone else's home. And so they're trying to find their way to the bathroom, and, you know, it's all dark, and so that makes it nice for them. A hook on the door if you don't have a guest closet in your bedroom. Now, your guest closet, a lot of times we use that as our storage unit. And so your guests come, and they open this closet, and it is cram-packed. And you've given them like 6 inches of space for them to hang their clothes. So you want to think hospitality, what would you like, you know? So you want to make sure you give them half of a closet, and you have a whole bunch of extra hangers in there for them to hang up their clothes. Extra pillows in the closet, extra hangers, and extra blankets. If you can, An ironing board and iron is nice for your guest room as well. So they're not running upstairs in their pajamas feeling embarrassed. Where's your iron and ironing board? So if you can, and go to the thrift store, buy an inexpensive iron for $1 and an ironing board and cover it in a new cover, and there you go. You don't have to spend lots of money to make this room nice. How about your bathroom? In my guest bathroom, I try to once again, make sure that I have my good towels out for them. I put extra toothpaste and toothbrushes in there, new toothbrushes in case they didn't bring theirs. Brand new soap, making it nice. Shampoo, conditioner, extra blow dryer, Q-tips, shower cap, disposable razors, shaving cream, and a trash can. Any of those things that you think that they would possibly have, if they would have forgotten it, it's right there for them. They're not embarrassed to say, you know what, I forgot my toothbrush. They can open up and see this little guest basket there, and they think, wow, this is nice. I also always fold up the toilet paper in that triangle thing. When you go to a hotel and it's all folded real nice. It sounds silly, but I notice these little things. When I go get, to a hotel, I think, wow, they folded my toilet paper for me. So I fold up my guest toilet paper for them. Sometimes Mark brings home guests unexpectedly, so I always try to have my guest room ready for guests, because my husband's known to pick up hitchhikers and bring them home, and they don't have any, they're just down and outer type guys, and, they don't even have any luggage, and it's fun, to have a guest room just to say, hey, we pick someone up at a restaurant, we know they don't have a place to spend the night. Hey, come and spend the night at our house. They crawl in those nice satin sheets, and we give them a good shower, and just bless them. They just leave and they just think, wow, you would open your home up to me and you don't even know me. It's that trusting God that, if you don't have God will give you a check if it's not a comfortable and right situation. But we need to give and show hospitality even to those that we do not know, if you feel comfortable with that. We in America are kind of struggle with that, but overseas, they don't even think about it, They just say, come and stay with us. If you are prepared for hospitality, you will be more hospitable. You will find opportunities to open up your home. If you're thinking hospitality, you will be more hospitable. One last idea. I know it sounds crazy, but we love it. We will have our friends come over, even if they live in town, and we tell them, bring their pajamas and have a sleepover with our friends. And they think this is really nuts. But you know what? When they take me up on it, we have so much fun. Because then we talk late into the night, and then they don't have to go home, even if they live in town or Spokane. And then in the morning, everybody gets up. They're all in their flannel pajamas. We're making breakfast together. And they love it. And I love it when my friends invite me over to their house and we'll have a sleepover. I know I'm 40 years old and you think I would have grown out of it. But you know what? It's just a fun way of showing another way of hospitality, saying, hey, let's come over and we'll just pretend we're on a mini vacation together. So you want to remember your home is for fun and it's for you to share with others, showing hospitality. Okay, let's talk about the linen closet. Our linen closet can become another catch-all for your house. And especially when those unexpected guests come, what gets thrown in that linen closet, everything. Sometimes we accidentally even throw our husbands in there by accident. So this is a place we need to clean out. Our linen closets just do not store linens. They sometimes have all our to-do projects in them, our kids' games that are all torn apart, all those towels that you haven't got rid of because you keep getting new towels and you just keep the old ones and they're just like in there. And the kids, of course, have to take the last towel for Daddy for the rag bin, and everything comes tumbling down. So we're going to clean this out. Begin by gathering all your linens, towels, and blankets throughout your house. Not the ones on your bed, just all the extra blankets and everything that's around the house in your bathrooms, because you're going to take an inventory now of what you need and what you need to discard and what you do not use. You're going to analyze this. When you're cleaning out your linen closet, you want to start from the top shelf, working your way down to the bottom, getting everything, going through each and every item, making sure you want it. Scrub out that linen closet, vacuum it out, determining what is fit for keepers as you go through, pulling all that stuff out. Now, we can have lots of towels and linens, like I said. We have the good, bad, and the ugly. So, it's true. So if your towels are too worn or too faded, maybe it's time for you to get some new ones. Now, new towels do not need to cost a lot of money. I have spent $5 a towel at Kmart, and I have had those towels forever, and they have been such great towels. I have spent $25 a towel on Egyptian cotton towels. Do you think I still have those things? I don't. And so you don't always have to spend a lot of money. Kmart, Shopko, Fred Meyer, TJ Maxx, all those places, Wally Mart now, Walmart, all those places have lots of towels that do not cost very much, and they have the great current colors, and you can make it look really nice in your bathroom, and they don't have to cost a lot of money, and you would love them. Now, if you have those good towels that are just for looks in your bathroom, you want to start using those too, because you're going to take it, don't just have the good towels just for looks. They're like your good dishes, you're going to use them. So go through your towels, and you want to only keep so many for your rag bin. Now, what size is good for a rag bin? Is that a good size for a rag bin? Anything that does not fit in the 66-quart Sterilite needs to go. Because if you're really doing your laundry all the time, how many rags do you need? I know you're going to have to do it with your husband not looking, because they usually tell you to keep, those are good rags, don't get rid of them. And so you have like 6 containers like this for your husband, and you don't need that many rags. So take the rags, get yourself a container, put that out in the garage, so now you have lots of room in your linen closet. And also your towels, if you're one to store your towels in your bathroom so you have more space in your linen closet. It depends on your situation. I store mine in the bathroom, so my linen closet is strictly for linens. This will free up your shelves on your linen closet. Sheets. We only need 2 sets of sheets max per bed. I know you have all those sheets that are perfectly good, that you think they're perfectly good, but you have not used them for the last 2 years. And the rule of thumb, if you have not used it in the last year, go ahead and give them away. Give them to the Women's Center, thrift store, and they'll be gladly take those. Now, I fold my sheets in a way that they're all together. And so inside of my sheets has my pillowcases, so it's all together. So if somebody comes in to my linen closet, they grab it and it's all together. Sometimes we stack all the different things in separately, and then what happens, the kids go in there to find their sheets, and they've torn out your whole linen closet, all that folding that you've done, trying to find the sheets that match together. Now, sometimes if you have enough room, because now you only have 2 sets of sheets per room, maybe you want to get a flat Sterilite container and put the extra sheet in there and stick this underneath their bed, so they know right where their sheets are. Or perhaps you might want to take a felt tip marker, permanent marker, and on the tag write their initials on it so they know which sheets are theirs. When I buy sheets, I try to buy at least a 200 to 300 thread count sheets. They're much nicer. I spend the extra money on good sheets because I don't have to replace them as often, and they feel so nice, don't peel up. And when they're on sale, half the time, those really nice luxury satiny linens, like the Ralph Lauren kind, when they're on sale, they are sometimes cheaper than your cotton ones that you're purchasing, thinking that you're getting, you can get a good deal, and you don't have to buy the stuff that's not as nice. A good place to buy linens is Bed & Bath & Beyond on Division Street. Linens and Things on Highway 2, and we also have Linens and Things now at the Valley Mall. Bon Marché is another good place for linens. Now, you want to go through your blankets. If you have not used those blankets and you have that whole stack of those perfectly good blankets, but you're not using them, go ahead and give them to the dog, or give them to someone. But don't keep them in your linen closet if you have not used them, especially in the last few years, because you're probably not going to use them. And if your kids have outgrown the fort-making syndrome, then you especially can get rid of them. Or give them to a young mother that likes that fort-making tent thing in her home and let those kids have more fun. So you want to keep only that which you use. Regarding your pillows, those can be the good, bad, and ugly as well. The ones that are stained up. Pillows don't cost that much, so this might be a good time for you to go ahead and get rid of the stained up pillows. And next time, when you buy these pillows, you want to buy pillowcase covers. And they usually have Velcro or buttons or zippers on them, and they're like $2, $3 a piece, and you just leave them over your pillow, and that saves your pillow from being drooled on. How about all those linens that are from Grandma? And they're taking up your linen closet because you have 2 grandmas and they've given you all your linens, their linens, and so now your linen closet is way too full. Go through those grandma's linens and you pick out the ones that you really, really like. And the other ones, you give them away to the thrift store or to someone else that might like those linens. Or if you can't part with them because they're too much of a memory, put them in your memory box and free up your linen closet for the things that you use. This is it's a prime space, so you don't want to give it to Grandma's linens that you're not using anymore. Blankets, when you fold them, you want to fold them into thirds lengthwise and then into thirds again. That's the basic rule of thumb for folding up blankets. I've come across a blanket. It's 100% natural Egyptian cotton. It's made by a company called Peacock Alley. I think it's one of the finest blankets out there, and it's sold at Joel's. Sometimes it's really hard to find those really nice blankets. Well, this is the blanket of the year. So if you're looking for blankets, it's at Joel's, and you just say, I want a Peacock Alley blanket, and they'll show you right what it looks like. Heating pads. You want to go make sure your heating pads are good. If they are bad, get rid of them. They're dangerous. They can burn you at night, or they can catch your kids' blankets on fire, so you make sure your heating pads, they do go bad. Mine just went bad, and make sure that you check those out. So if you don't use your linen closet very much now because we've just cleaned it out and got rid of most of everything, you might want it for a different purpose. So you might want it to become a supply center for your home. So you would take these 6-quart containers and you have it for your extension cords, your light bulbs, all those things that your tools, whatever that you use for like a mini supply center, you might want to do that. Shoe polish. Or you want to make your your linen closet a sewing cabinet, a sewing center, We're going to talk about that in 2 seconds. Or you might want to put your gift wrapping in there. The 32-quart Sterilite containers are great for gift wrapping. I recommend that you have gift wrapping on hand. I have one of these for gift wrapping, and I have one of these as well for gifts. I want to be a woman of preparedness, and I don't want to have to go to the grocery store to buy Johnny a birthday present that will use up a half an hour or an hour of my time to find that right gift. So when I find good kids' gifts on sale, I buy them for both female and male gender, and I have a box of just gifts. And then I have all the wrapping paper and everything that I'm going to need already on hand, so I don't have to use up my day trying to get a gift for that quick birthday party that your kid came home and says I have to be to at an hour. So you want to maybe put that in your linen closet. And you put scissors and tape in there as well, so it's just right there, all together. You want to go through all your, a lot of times our linen closets has our kids' games in it. And so this is a great time to, if they've outgrown those games, you want to go ahead and give those away, or if all the pieces are not there, you want to get rid of those as well. So you might want to make your linen closet a game center for your kids. Arts and crafts center, or a homeschool center. If you don't have a place for homeschooling, linen closet is great for that. Or a mini office. Take off your door, put a shelf across there, make a little mini office area. Or an extra pantry. As you go through your hallway, it might be a time for you to paint it this week, or at least scrub it down. And maybe you perhaps want to get all those family mementos, those family pictures, and make yourself a family gallery going down the hallway, or get some nice artwork on your hallway. A lot of times we don't decorate our hallways because they're just hallways, but you might want to make them interesting. We're going to 2 more minutes, and we're going to talk about sewing, a sewing center. Some of you may not be sewers, and some of you are, so I'm just going to give you some few helpful hints about this. When a sewing place is streamlined, it can be very motivating. If it's all organized, it can be very motivating to you as a sewer. So you want to go ahead and streamline your whole sewing center as well. We had some seamstresses at the last class, and they went home and did this, and man, they are just like, they were so excited. That's all they could talk about. I think that's their best favorite part. You want to go through all your fabric and evaluate your fabric stash. You want to get rid of any fabric that you do not like, at least 70% worth. And you might want to refold all your fabric, and you put it into, if you don't have a shelf, then you might want to get a 66-quart clear plastic Sterilite. And what I do is I put all my fabric that's the darkest onto the bottom of this, and then I work my way up to the lightest fabric that I have. So if I need a dark fabric, I don't have to dig through my whole pile. Dark to lightest, that whole concept like we've talked about. If you have any fabric that you need to get rid of, give them to the quilter club or something like that, to a church nearby. You want to go through all your patterns, making sure that if you don't use those patterns anymore, get rid of them. Keep the patterns that you really like and that are good basic styles. And you know how patterns never fit inside their envelopes? Well, the clutter, Stephanie Culp is a well-known organizer. This was her helpful tip. You just get a 9x12 manila folder, put your pattern into that, and then you just cut your pattern out and glue it on top of it. And it's a great way for your patterns to be saved and not have to mess up your tissue. Any patterns that you're getting rid of, you might want to just take the tissue out and put that in your gift box and use the pattern tissues for your gifts. And it kind of is clever and looks different. You're going to go through all your buttons. And as you do this, I separate all my buttons, and I use the smallest of the Sterilite containers. All my lighter buttons go into one and the darker buttons into another. I go down to the baseball card collector shops and buy these little tiny Ziploc bags, and I put all my buttons in there, and so then they're all separated. And then, so if I know I want a shell buttons, I could see, yep, I have 6 of those, and that will work. And so they're organized. You want to go through your zippers and make sure that you're going to keep the zippers that you're really going to keep. If you've been tearing out zippers for 10 years and you have all those zippers still, it might be time to get rid of those zippers because they only cost $1 and you might as well just buy one and get rid of all that stuff that you have. You want to go through your thread as well, because thread can get old on you. And a lot of times we keep our thread forever and it's actually not any good any longer. The clutter therapists have a great idea on this. They store their thread and their bobbin with double sticky tape together. Just double sticky tape the colors alike, and that way they stay organized. So you want to go through all your sewing items, keeping that which you will use, not just what you think you might, if you haven't used it, go ahead and get rid of it and keep it down to the basics. Now, if you're not a sewer, it's really important to have a basic sewing kit nearby your laundry area to do those quick mending jobs. Now, we didn't discuss this last time, but you want to go through your mending pile. We went through all our clothes on the first week, but we didn't talk about that mending pile that is huge. Now, if you have not done anything with that mending pile for the last year, what does that mean? If you haven't used it in the last year, so it's a prime opportunity to get rid of that whole mending pile. If you really don't like what you look through it and you think, well, do I like it 70% worth? And have I used it in the last year? No, because it's been sitting there for 3 or 4 years and I haven't fixed it. Well, now I just saved you tons of work. You get rid of it all and you start over. So we're going to really streamline this. Isn't this fun? I love this. I just, after every Tuesday when I sit here and study during the day, I just tell the Lord, Lord, what a joy this is to me to teach this. I would have never thought that this is something that women would have been interested in. And I am so grateful that you are here. You're a blessing to me to teach. I just love you guys, and I'm just really thankful to the Lord for this. Let's have the prayer team come forward. Again, if you have anybody that needs to have prayer, I mean, if you are a person that needs prayer, please come and let one of us pray with you. The need list is in the back. There's lots of needs. There's pots and pans, end tables, dining room tables that need to be, people are needing tons of mattresses. If any of you can help with these needs, it would be wonderful. Homework this week. Reach out to someone who is in need, even if you perhaps don't even know them. It might be a friend or someone in your family that is in need. It might even be your husband that is in need, and you're not aware of something that's going on in his life because you're not keeping tabs on what's happening with him because you're both so busy. Reach out to your husband or reach out to someone. Choose to trust God for your life. He's trustworthy. Clean out your dining rooms, guest rooms, and linen closets. Have someone over for a cup of tea. And we will see you next week, and we will be studying the Proverbs 31 woman and her industriousness. We're going to be cleaning out our master bedrooms and our kids' rooms. Now, if you have 10 kids, you guys have a lot of homework next week. So, blessings on you, and thank you for coming.